to my brother. Oh my gosh. I just realized right now I need to check if I delete the file.
Yeah, we should do that.
Oh my god. Hold on. I figured out I'm gonna switch to this. I just remembered right now. Yeah, no, I need to do it right now. Well, at least I'm doing it right now. That's something. Ba-da-dum. I also need to do this. That's going right now. This was October 1st. Let me delete this. I think we have space now. I think we're good. Oh my god, I got so scared. I was like, oh no. Okay. Copy link, send link. Okay. I'll just wait a bit. Oh my god, I just realized the time. So honestly, we're trying to reach like until 8:30, and then I gotta take a funny shower because me stinky.
Stinky?
Stinky. No, I have to shower so I can stay awake. We're working tonight. Just remembered that. Oh, you know what I just noticed? The logo is gone for us. For the horizontal. I wonder if I can just add it really quick since we're here.
Can.
It's under images, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Nope. Oh, wait.
Yeah, it is, because it's a GIF.
Whoa! So big. Calm down.
Calm down.
Calm down. There we go.
Alright, we ready to go.
Ready?
We gotta steady.
Ready!
Alright, well, we got the announcement. It's already over.
Oh, the announcement went?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, we can go ahead and just start then. Oy. Also, let me just add our little ghost. Hopefully our ghost is still working. It's what? iGhost? iGhost. And our little ghost is working. So cute. I also need to copy and paste people that, what is it called? To do commands and all that. Let me copy that, paste, delete this part. Okay, chat, pin until the end of stream. So cute. Okay. Super cute. It's all ghosty. Okay, let me put the music up a bit more. There we go. welcome to the podcast, the Dear Diary podcast. It is your lovely host, Zuzu, or Zoo, or Zuli, whatever you want. And then my lovely co-host, Thomas.
Hello, everyone.
It's Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Today's episode is Whispers in the Dark, which will correlate to unsolved cases and urban legends. But we decided to kick it off something different today. We wanted to actually go to our Yap City section really quick and just run it down what's been like going on with us and also what's been going on in general with like society and all that. So let's go ahead and go to our Yap City segment. Let's see. What is going on? Let me scroll all the way down because I remember I wrote notes just to talk about stuff.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You can go first. Go ahead.
Okay.
What's been going on?
Well, this week has been quite eventful these last 2 days because I had to sign a bunch of witness statements for accidents on the job. This Monday, something happened with the fryer at work. Right now, I'm working as a line cook, and something happened to the fryers, and the fryer combusted with gas, and it blew up in my coworker's face. And then yesterday, one of my coworkers got hurt really badly, cut himself, and passed out on the job. And we had to call 911 paramedics, and then I stayed like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours,
Cleaning up the mess, right?
cleaning up everything. Yep,
Oh my
with
God.
bleach, because we had to bleach the entire kitchen, bleach the entire dish pit, all of that.
Oh my gosh. I was gonna ask you, how long did it take the paramedics to get there? Because I know you live in a very secluded area, like place. So everything is like literally more than an hour away.
So
how long did it take for them to get there?
less than 5 minutes, and I'm gonna
Oh.
explain why.
Okay. T.
So we have a fire department. All of the firemen and fire people that are there are
Okay.
trained and they're certified paramedics. So if something happens in my town, the paramedics show up, or like the fire department shows up, because they're all registered in professional EMT. They're also EMT.
Okay.
So they'll do the call, it will go to them, and then they'll come over there. And it could have been faster if somebody just like kind of like ran over to the the fire station, because it's like right next to where I work. But yeah, it took them less than 5 minutes after the call went.
Right. Okay, that's
And
not that bad. I thought it was
yeah,
gonna be a little bit worse than that. I thought like they were just like, I don't know. I just thought more.
it's more taking somebody to the hospital that's the issue.
Right.
Because with my friend who got hurt, he couldn't get his insurance couldn't cover what he needed to get done at our clinic, and he needed to drive about almost an hour to go get proper treatment. Same thing if somebody had a life-threatening thing, they would either, have to drive an hour and a half to the nearest hospital or get air vac'd out of here. And that when I was a kid, that's happened to me a couple of times.
Air vac, right? Do you actually remember it? Or was it so like traumatic that you just don't remember it?
No, I thought they were funny when I was a kid. I wasn't really scared of them. It was just like, oh, I be shaking now.
Not the shaking.
Yeah, I terrified my grandmother. Oh, poor thing. Because it was always just like, I was always just like laughing. She was always like, "This is not a laughing matter. You could have died." I'm like,
you know what? my god, bless you. Bless you, soul. Your soul. Bless your soul.
Mhm. Mhm.
She would just be laughing. I mean, you'd just be laughing.
I just be laughing, and she was oh, I probably gave her a heart attack or two, but yeah, I remember one time, not during it when I woke up. I always remember when I wake up, not when it happens or before it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I just be chilling. I'm always sick. I got really, really sick, and then I felt like I went to bed and I woke up in the air. And like I wake up and the paramedic that's flying it like turns and sees that I'm awake. And he's like, "You're fine, kid." Like and everything like that.
Uh-huh.
And like if I wanted to like sit up and be in the passenger seat, his like co-pilot would go in the back and just kind of like sit where I was sitting or like be where I was. So I just kind of sat there and just we were talking the entire time all the way till we got to the hospital. Because I think an air vac takes about 25 to 30 minutes, which is a lot, but better than an hour and a half.
Right.
And what's unfortunate about it is a lot of people have passed away on the road over there. Because a lot of people, like, if it's severe, you don't have 30 minutes, you don't have an hour and a half, you know? You
Yeah.
have maybe 10 minutes tops. And of course, they try their best to, like, make sure, like, to hold you off until they can get there, but it's just the grim reality of where I live.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible for me to ever like live that far away from like the closest hospital
Oh,
or clinic. There's no
absolutely
way
not.
for me to live that far away. Like I want to at least be like at least 30 minutes away from like a hospital. Like at least, like bare minimum. But I don't even know. I can't even think of myself in that situation. I think I would just die. I would just die.
And especially since like we're right next to like a very bad road and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate cuz like we have like an airstrip at the place where I live,
Uh-huh.
and the helicopter lands at the airstrip and then they fly them out. It's it's insane. Or they'll land in our big field for our high school. They'll land there and then they'll do the airback.
I
But
can just imagine your high school is just like, what the heck? All those kids are just like looking. They're like, what is going on? They're
it's
like, oh,
never happened
Jimmy's
while I was at
flipping away.
school.
Oh.
It's never happened while I was at school. It always happens at night cuz, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I also my town's built off of a bunch of old people.
Mm-hmm.
Old people have complications in the middle of the night. They need to get air vac or taken immediately. Then they'll do it at night. Like you'll hear sirens going off in the middle of the night. I lived next to like our neighbors, the sweetest neighbors. She is no longer here. God bless her soul. But that the fire department was always called to their house. So like in the middle of the night, we would just hear the sirens, and we would come outside and be
Were
like,
you gonna
"Oh,
make the noise? You were gonna make the noise how you're gonna be like, woo.
woo, woo, woo," and I would wake up and look outside and just be like, "Oh, it's them again. Hope they're okay," and then go back inside. And then they would like come out, like I would see them like the next day and be like, "What happened?" And they're like, something with my heart, or something with this, or something with that." I'm like, "Oh, okay. I hope you're doing better."
Okay. Really quickly, is there anything else besides your coworker?
um, I am currently pursuing a job. Um, kind of is in the same realm of what I'm dressed up as. Um, I want to be a cop, and my testing to see if I can get into the academy is on the 18th. I've been running, working, and studying. My brain is mush, but
Welcome to the
I think
club.
um I think I got it, and you'll find out not next week, but the week after that's episode if I get it or not.
I just heard your boogies. But okay. I mean, mean, I wish you good luck. I think during that time as well, during the 18th, is my exam day for microbiology. I mean, I just hope for the best for myself during that day. I
Mhm.
already did all my labs, already did all my homework, quizzes. The only thing that's left is my exam. So my exam day would be the 18th. So, uh, you know, I'll just be working. I'll just be doing that. Other than that, we both are updating our IDs, by the way. We're in the process of updating our IDs because apparently, if you need to travel in state, apparently, you need to have your like ID like with the star, and that's considered like your passport now. I don't know, but if you're trying to go out of the country, then like of course you can't do that. So I guess that was in effect around like May of this year. And since in the future I do want to travel and like obviously take the plane and all that, I have to get my ID updated. And Thomas obviously had to get his updated anyway. So we're both in the process of that. And not the happiest thing ever, but I will have my appointment tomorrow to the DMV. And I just hate it. It's not even called the DMV anymore. It's called the M something. And
MVD or something like
yeah,
that.
which I don't even know what that means. I'm just like, what does that even mean?
It's like the motor division of whatever, but the thing is like it's it is literally the same thing. They just rebranded for no reason. Everybody calls it the DMV regardless.
Yeah. It's just like, that's something that's for sure that it should probably go back to the original name. No one's gonna call it to the MVD. Like, no one says that. Like, I don't know. So it's kind of weird. Let's see. I mean, I don't know if there's anything else going on with you, Thomas, or if you want me to go ahead and let me talk about my stuff really quickly.
Yeah, no, yeah, you take the floor.
Okay. So besides my exam that is going to be coming up in classes, working, I have like I guess a new job position kind of. I will be like I guess like doing that starting today, and then I decided to get I think last episode I talked about it. I wanted to get a new phone, and not just any phone, a flip phone, aka I guess it's called a dumb phone, because I wanted it to limit myself in doom scrolling and just like I don't know. I just feel like I'm not really like attached to my phone in general, which I feel like I need to like quote unquote downgrade. So honestly, being in the process of that has been a very difficult process, if it makes sense, because I got a phone, not just any phone. It's called the NV2, and I guess that's the shorter version to call it. And this phone came out this year in March of 2025, and it's a Korean phone basically. And I got it shipped to me and all that. It took like maybe like less than 2 weeks, and I got it, and it's been great. Like I've been loving the phone, been taking care of the phone. Added like a bunch of stickers. I'll probably like send a picture so you guys can see what it looks like and all that. But I love the phone so much. But the only bad thing is that apparently my provider is T-Mobile, right? It disconnected the network of it or whatever the case might be. I can still do calls and all that, but I just have to be connected to the Wi-Fi. So I was like, okay, well, is there like a device that I can like connect to the Wi-Fi, or like hotspot or something? And I was doing research, and then Thomas, bless his soul, like helped me out of like what to do. And I guess it's like this, like it's called, I think, Pocket Wi-Fi or something like that. I don't remember what it's called, but basically, it's like a hotspot, and it'll let me connect to the Wi-Fi to it, and I would fully like transition basically, and I won't have my other phone anymore. Like I would just have it like at home during like the time I work or whatever the case might be, which is very exciting because I really want to switch over to like a flip phone officially, and I feel like this flip phone is gonna like allow me to fully transition. Like, you know, I just feel good vibes about it. And there's just like so much headaches of like the whole like thing. Like now I have to buy like a service of this hotspot, which it's pretty kind of pricey. It literally has, I think, like $25, and then all it skyrockets to like $75 or something like that for like a little bit of gigabytes. I don't know. I'm just like in awe. I'm like, man, how many gigabytes should I get? So I think I'm gonna start off with 25, and if I need more, I guess I'll go to 75. I think that's the max gigabytes I can actually get for the device, or I have no idea. Something like that. Either way, I'm in the process of that, and hopefully tomorrow it works out and I can do that. Another thing, besides IDs, updating, exams coming up, and flip phones, there's actually a story I actually wanted to talk about, and it's gonna get deep, okay? There's two stories I want to talk about that basically, one happened like 2 months ago and the other happened just literally on Monday. Which I guess I can talk about that one a little bit more, or I can just quickly talk about the other story. I don't know which story should I talk about, the one that's recent that happened on Monday, or the one that's like happened like I think like 2 months ago or something like that.
I say the one that's recent because I believe we did talk about the one that happened about 2 months ago in an earlier episode.
Maybe. Okay. So basically what happened on Monday was I was on my way, like I had to go to the doctor, like I had a doctor's appointment, and then I was coming back home. And the process when I was coming back home, I was in the okay, I was in the ghetto area of Phoenix, okay? Like, I mean, in general, Phoenix is pretty, like, ghetto and everything. But this was, like, a very, very ghetto area of Phoenix. Like, there's just a bunch of homeless people, the light rails there, and just, like, it's just known for, like, sex trafficking and just all this other stuff. And I'm just, like, telling my doctor, I'm like, doctor, why are you over here? Like, this is so sketch. But, you know, he's a really good doctor, so I'm just like, you know, whatever. And I'm driving to the area, and tell me why there's a guy that basically is on the floor, and two people are giving him, like, CPR. And I see this happening, and my gut is telling me I need to stop and like try to help out, at least call 911, because it looked like it was just them two there, like the person that was on the ground and the two people that are giving CPR. And I'm like, it didn't look like they were like, you know, calling anybody, or maybe they did, I don't know. So I pulled to the side, and basically I called 911. And mind you, I'm in the car, right? My mom is with me in the car as well because she wanted to tag along. Mind you, she doesn't understand what's going on. Like, I feel so bad for my mom, but she's just so, like, disconnected, you know? I don't know, she's just hasn't really seen, I guess it's pretty normal. People haven't really seen when people OD'd or, like, people dying right in front of them. And, you know, she's just like, what's going on? She's panicking. And I look at her, because, okay, I'm like concentrating of like, it looks like they stopped doing CPR. I'm trying to call the police, 911, literally 5 times, and they don't answer. And that's so typical. I never heard of that, like 911 not even answering me. It literally just keeps disconnecting me every time I was calling 911. And I was like getting frustrated, and I was like, you know what? I can't like be on the phone. So like I basically go and park really quickly, and like I toss my mom my phone, because I had Google Maps on. And I told her, just tell them the address where we're at. Tell them that we need like a paramedics and like ambulance, or basically paramedics. We need help now. And that's it. Like, just tell them in Spanish, you know, or English. Try your best. I gotta go. Help. So I start running out. Like, I literally left the keys and everything, all my stuff there, and I ran. Like, I ran out of the car to this person that's on the ground. And my mom's like yelling at me, like, what's happening? And I'm just like running to this person that's on the ground, because I see that they're gonna do another set of CPR, and these people look like they're tired, right, doing the CPR on this person. So I go in, I'm already holding the guy's like wrist to see if he has a pulse. He has a pulse, it's just low, and I'm looking if he's breathing. And I tell him, like, what's going on? What's the situation? Like, I already, like, I'm in the process of calling 911, and they're telling me, he basically OD'd. And I told them if they give him Narcan, if they guys, like, you know, because I saw there was Narcan on the ground. And then they said they did, but he still, like, isn't there, you know? And the guy was gonna start doing CPR, but I noticed that he was breathing and his eyes were just like rolled back a bit, you know, he was conscious and he had a pulse. So I stopped the CPR because I told him, like, don't do it. You're basically like gonna kill him, you know? So I tell him stop. And I told him that, like, you know, I used to be like an EMT and all this other shit. And I was telling them, like, it's okay, he's breathing. He's like obviously like showing life and all that. He's like obviously stuttering and all that, and he's okay. And all that matters is that like paramedics get here and they can go ahead and take him. So I think like 5 minutes after, he like jolts up, the guy, and he's like trying to get up, but I put him on the ground, like, because I don't want him to pass out, and then we go ahead and like resuscitate him again and all this other stuff. So I just told him to stay put. But druggies are druggies, you know, they're not gonna listen. And the guy ends up getting up and he just sits. I tell him at least sit down so I can catch him, like, or we can catch him if he falls, and then we can start over the like whole process of it. And the guy just ends up like being super embarrassed. He's like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing, I can't believe it. And I'm like, it's okay, don't be embarrassed, like, it's perfectly normal and it has happened a lot. Because like living in downtown in Phoenix, I'm sorry, there's just a lot of things going on. So it's very common when someone ODs or whatever the case might be. I don't know how everyone lives or how it is their situation, but that's just how downtown Phoenix is. So it's pretty common. And I remember I was just talking to the guy, letting him know, like, do you know who you are? Do you know what happened? Do you have, like, you know, like anything on you? Because, like, the paramedics are coming and all that, and most likely the police are going to take away any drugs that he has on him. So all this other stuff, just asking him questions, and he's like coherent, and obviously he's talking to me, he's like telling me. And then my mom gets out of the vehicle, obviously, and she comes to me and she's like giving me the phone, and I'm like, girl, you can't even talk on the phone, like what is going on? Like, it made me so upset. I was just like, give me the phone. And I was like, hello? And then telling them, like, yeah, we need paramedics. The person, like, passed out. They basically OD'd. We need paramedics now. This is the location. This is the area. I was just so upset my mom could not, like, lock in right there. I was just like, girl, just all you have to do is tell them where we're at. Tell them we need this people. I was just so upset. But she was just shaking and, like, you know, couldn't believe what was going on. And I was just, like, just so locked in. I was just like, ugh, like, it happens too much. And then I was just basically, I saw police coming, and I tried to flag them down. And this is the worst part. The police literally drive by me. They just literally just, you know, left or whatever. They just ignored. And that's how they are. That's how downtown is, dude. I'm telling you, police just ignore you. They just don't want to deal with it. Which I'm like, honestly, real. But honestly, what an asshole move. And then I just saw paramedics coming, and then I flagged them down, and then it was the fire department that dealt with them first, and then I heard the paramedics coming possible as well. And then basically I let the guy that was there that like did everything first, like I let him handle it because it was his friend, you know. So his friend was like, yeah, he was drinking before and now he shut up like drugs, like he just, you know, all this other stuff, he's just been like out of it, just saying stuff like that, like pretty deep stuff that was just like, you know, tough shit, stuff happens, I understand. And basically I didn't want to be involved with it, so I was just like, all right, cool, my work here is done, I'm leaving. So I ended up leaving. I told my mom, let's go. And then they just tell me thank you, and the guy obviously tells me thank you, like all this other stuff, and I tell them that everything's fine, you know. And then they just end up taking him off, and then I just ended up leaving. And it was funny because I was on my way to the car, and I literally parked by the police department, and I was just like, wow, that's crazy. These people did not want to answer, and they're right there. So that's what happened, that story. And I did end up talking to my mom, like letting her, like, I need you to step up your game when shit happens like that. I don't want you to freeze. I need you to, you know, lock in, you know, because if something happens to me or something happens to whoever, we need to be there, you know, if we can. If you can't, at least handle like the phone call. No diss to my mom, but bless her soul. So another story I wanted to talk about. Are you talking, Thomas?
Sorry.
Oh, I saw your little thing, so I was just like, So there's another story that basically happened. This happened maybe like 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago. I don't remember the time frame of it, but basically, this person where I used to work, I wasn't there when it happened, but I heard the stories basically happening. But this person, basically, where I worked it was a 23 floor, 23 floor building, and it was like a hotel slash apartment like complex, very bougie place, very expensive. And I worked there for a bit, you know, guarding the place and all that, doing my job. But they were telling me that on a Wednesday, basically, this guy basically I'm sorry, I don't even mean to laugh, but it's pretty crazy. The guy, he falls, like jumps, ends up killing himself, suicide and all that, and all his guts and everything was on the floor. It was just messy, and he just died on impact. And it was just very upsetting because in the cameras I saw like basically when the guy fell and like how he died and like all the process of it. When he was up there on the 23rd floor is like a pool area, and you see him there for 2 hours, and basically I guess he like went up the ramp of the garage and just used all the stairs to go all the way up to the 23rd floor, and he was just chilling there. A bunch of people were chilling there. And I guess like for those 2 hours he was like swimming, and then also like on his phone, constantly on his phone. And then he just, I guess, couldn't do it anymore and just, you know, fell like to his death. And I think the next day or a couple days later, they end up finding out, I think a week later, they end up finding out that guy, he actually killed his girlfriend 2 hours before he was there at the place, like, you know. So I guess he was just contemplating of like either killing himself or turning himself in. He obviously chose the easy way out and didn't want to, like, you know, do jail time, so he ended up just jumping. So don't know why he killed his girlfriend, which I thought was pretty crazy. I think what's even crazier and wild is that since, like I said, a bunch of homeless people are there downtown, the homeless people ended up like making it like a, what is it called, like a contraction, not contract, I don't
Like
know,
a
like,
circus attraction.
yeah, like a circus contraction. Like the homeless people were just like, all right, everyone, gather around. This is where the guy jumped from the 23rd floor and he killed his girlfriend. It was just crazy. Just crazy. I was just like in shock because I remember I was like doing my patrol like outside and they were just literally talking about it. And they're like, yeah, to this day, you can probably see blood that's splattered around the whole building. And then you just see a bunch of people just taking pictures of the whole area trying to look. And I'm just like in awe. I couldn't believe it that was happening. I was just like, oh my god, you know what? And then obviously the homeless people like cash out whatever like the show and everything. And I was just like, wow, these homeless people, they were hustling and I respect it. But at the same time, that's crazy. But yeah, like I remember I had to deal with that. I had to like tell people to leave, all this other stuff because they were on property. And yeah, it was just crazy, that experience I wanted to share. Um Other than that, that was pretty much it. Just a lot of eventful things happens a lot, which I think it's pretty normal, but I might be wrong. I don't know. Thomas?
Yes. I mean, I have never seen something as gruesome as that, like in person. Knock on wood. But I mean, it does change a person for anyone who witnesses it. Doesn't matter if you've know them. Seeing that loss of life so quickly will change a person.
Yeah.
Not to say that I will not experience that. I will not go through that experience because in the line of work I want to go into, that is a very big possibility.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
especially with my line of work. Um, if I respond to something and it gets bad, then I'm gonna have to pull up to that. But I mean, to each their own. I think the homeless people making it like a
Like a
murder
show.
mystery, like a show, like they're on MTV or some shit, being like,
Yeah. I don't know.
let's draw the chalk outline together, guys. Like it's so bad.
I know. It sounds so bad, but it's so common and it's just like I guess people are just so numb to it. So that's why I'm just like, wow. These homeless people are hustling anything for money. And you know what? I give them props.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so there's actually a couple things we want to talk about before Gap City session is over. The a couple things that we did want to talk about was an update about the David's case. The singer David. Apparently, there was like the police or FBI came out with saying that they were upset about the internet like solving their cases. Don't know if they were joking or not, but they were being very upset about it. And I thought they would be really happy about it because it's like people are uniting and figuring out things. But I think the FBI is like trying to put us in our lane and all that of the people is like maybe you guys shouldn't get involved. But I just thought that was pretty interesting. That's like a little update about the Davis case. I don't know if there's any other updates. I didn't see anything. I guess the next update was like another thing that I noticed within this week was like the iPhone. I think it's iPhone 17 or something like that. The Pro and the Pro Max were having issues. I saw that they were having issues with like apparently it was bending too easily or it was like scratching too easily or all this like issues with it. And also I don't know, just like maybe overheating and all that. I didn't really look into it, but I just hear about issues with it. And then a lot of people were just like returning it because it's not for them or whatever the case case might be.
Yeah, the reason for it is there's this new technology called Scratchgate. So like your phone is not gonna have all those scratches and blemishes. You know, that's the thing of the past. You have a scratch-free surface, right? It didn't work. There was issues and there was scratches all over the damn thing. And then people were getting upset. It's like this was supposed to be scratch-proof. What do you mean? And
Yeah.
like and like basically Apple responded to all of this,
Mhm.
uh, denying it's a fault. Like they're like, ah, you're just using it wrong. It's so
That's
bad.
crazy. Using it wrong, your phone. Okay.
Yeah, like it's like, and like they're like, oh, you must have really used that phone wrong. This isn't on us. Like this isn't a structural fault. This is on you. And started to like point to other factors of why it cracked and like paint chipping, all that stuff. Like it's pretty bad.
Okay. Speaking of technology as well, I already sent this to you, but there's like a new product that came out. I think I forgot what company made it. But basically, it looks like a tablet, right? And it can be like a tablet and it's a big screen, or it can actually be like or like a laptop. So it's just like literally like think of it like Android with the Galaxy one, I think, and it's called like the Flipper or Z Flip or something like that. Thinking of it like that, but you can actually, it's like bigger and it's a computer and you're using part of it like a keyboard, or you can actually have a keyboard that is like attached to it. I thought it was cool. Thomas thinks it's like pretty obnoxious or something. I don't know.
I think it's dumb.
You think
Uh,
it's dumb? I think it's pretty cool. I think it's like, literally it's just like a huge screen and you just like split it and you just use it like the keyboard and all that, which I don't know. I thought it was cool.
I can just imagine though, like
All the fingerprints.
all the fingerprints. If that screen breaks, you're screwed. Like
Well,
the
if you
thing
don't fix it
is,
yourself, then yeah.
I mean, of course, but the thing is like it's cool. I liked it when they like propped it up on the little stand that they had,
Mhm.
but like I just feel like that's too much screen. Like I've always been fine with just a tiny ass screen since I like for like the first 4 years of me having a phone up to like this like the first year I've had a bigger phone. I've always had a tiny ass screen, so I've never really worried about the big screens. I've never really been big on tablets, stuff like that. So
Mhm. I don't
I don't
even
think
think
it's just
this
for me.
product is even here in the US. I think it's only in like uh I think in Asia. I'm not for sure. But the product actually is pretty pricey. It's like around 2 grand.
Oh shit. Well, that's not
Yeah.
bad.
Ah, yeah, I don't know.
Compared to like the newer like tablets, the iPads and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's not too much off because of how much it does. It's like a tablet slash computer, and a computer can range about 1,500 for like a mid end, 2,000 for like a higher end, stuff like that. So it's not too bad. But I will say that Asian countries just do technology so much better than we do.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I got the flip phone from
Yeah, flip
Korea.
phones.
Um,
Their phones are better. Their tablets are better. Their vehicles are better.
oh my god, 100%. 100%. They're so much better. So much, I guess, like luxury looking, even though it can be cheap. So, I don't know. To me, I was just so jealous.
Yeah, they
Okay,
just fill
so
everything with gadgets and gizmos.
yeah. So, the last two things we need to talk about for Yap City is Markiplier. He actually got married finally with Amy,
Let's
apparently.
go.
And I think they've been together, you said like 10 years?
Yeah,
And
10 years.
that got me thinking, why did it take so long? It literally was like the whole, like, it's kind of like PewDiePie and Matzi and all that. Like, they didn't get married until, like, literally maybe like 10-year mark as well, which I think it's pretty funny and interesting that, like, wow, he finally got married. And once he got married, like, right away they already had a kid and everything, which is very sweet. Which I think his name is Bjor, whatever. I think so.
Bjorn.
Yeah, which he's so cute. He's so adorable. And now
He's
they
very
live in
cute.
Japan and living their best life. And I love that for them.
Mhm.
Last thing
I
to talk.
just. Oh,
Huh?
I do have something to say on like the whole thing of like why wait so long.
Okay, go ahead.
Some people just don't really feel like marriage is gonna be a step up or anything, since like their bond is so tightly knit that like a lot of people feel like they're already practically married. We don't really need a title. We're just gonna be together, you know. And that's like the type of like thing that some couples do have of like marriage is not necessarily what binds us together, you know.
Um, yeah, I get that. I 100% get that. But I think another thing is, like, I just think about the benefits. That's what I think about the marriage.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, yo, I do want to get married for the benefits, for, like, I don't know. That's not what I think about the marriage. So I'm just like, I don't know. Each to their own. Um, Really quickly, the last thing to talk about is actually Bad Bunny not, like, potentially not doing the Super Bowl, which I don't even know when the Super Bowl is gonna happen, but apparently there's a situation of people were splitting apart about how Bad Bunny shouldn't, you know, do the Super Bowl. If nobody knows who Bad Bunny is, he's basically a Hispanic rapper or singer or whatever, and he's just, um, I don't know. I just love his music. Everyone, each to their own. I love his music. It's nice. It's catchy. Um, I just don't understand why like, I don't know. Supposedly, the whole thing is that Ice was gonna be involved or something like that. That supposedly, allegedly, I don't know, if he did perform, then Ice would be there, and that would be the best time for Ice to attack. Quote unquote, basically taking all the people that are illegal in the country, quote unquote. Take all the Hispanics and all that, which is really crazy. Crazy work of Ice doing that. And that's why there's just, like, a huge debate of, like, Bad Bunny should do it, Bad Bunny shouldn't, because of the safety of the people, or just, like, I don't know, just, like, all these, like, roller coaster of emotions about it. And honestly, I don't even know why would Ice be there. Like, it's pretty crazy why Ice would even be there. Like, I'm very confused on that. But I don't know. Your opinion, Thomas?
So the whole thing of like the divide between it, there's two sides, and I see both sides. One side is like, you know, it needs to be a particularly, American based artist, which I think is BS. But
Oh, I
I
did not
see
know
it.
that.
A lot of people have that sentiment of like, oh, this is like American football. We should have an American artist perform. Like the biggest artists in the world are usually Western artists, right?
Okay.
So that's never really been an issue. But Bad Bunny is
Didn't Shakira
very
perform?
popular, huh?
Didn't Shakira perform?
Yeah, that's the point. That's the
Oh.
point.
I'm like, she's not American, is she?
Um, she's not, but for the most part, she is a Western artist.
Mm.
Bad Bunny, the people that are trying to not let him in to perform don't really refer to him as a Western artist. I still think he is.
Yeah.
Because of like, his impact on everything. another like thing of just like after this whole thing went to shit and everybody's like, oh, he shouldn't be doing it. Um, he went on SNL like to defend him like himself about like, you know, music's about music. It shouldn't be about politics and all of this bullshit. It should just be about music, right? Which is should be music. Music goes beyond language and color. That's how I've always seen it. I listen to music in a ton of different languages. Do I know any of these languages or speak them? No. But music has a way of letting you understand the song without hearing the lyrics, you know, through tone, through rhythm, through all of this. I can go into detail because I'm a nerd. We don't have a lot of time. Uh, but I think he should. I think that'd be cool. I like Bad Bunny's music, and I think it would be
Particularly
really cool.
famous.
It would be really cool to get some representation in the Super Bowl. You know, it's the biggest stage in the world. You know, everybody
Yeah.
wants to do it. And honestly, these last few performances have been kind of shit. So you know, maybe he'll break the curse.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, who performed? I don't even know who performed. That's sad. I don't even know who did. The last, like,
Like
maybe 5 years, I don't even know who performed.
I know Kendrick Lamar did it last year. Justin Timberlake, The Weeknd. Damn, sorry, voice crack. Okay, okay. The Weeknd. I don't. Was Coldplay like in this 5 years?
No.
Like Snoop Dogg, Eminem, and somebody else. I mean, I have no idea. But like, so, like every single like the biggest artists in the world have done a halftime show.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I think it'd be pretty sick. I mean, it does wonders for the artist. I mean, for Kendrick Lamar, his ticket sales went through the roof after his show. That's why every single artist likes to go on tour after they do the show, you know? Because
Actually
it
do
boosts their
not.
money.
Oh, okay.
And like maybe drop an album after they do it, you know? Get the hype up since everybody's watching them.
Right. Okay, so I don't know. Just it's pretty dumb, honestly. I don't think there should be any issues. Shouldn't even be there. It's pretty crazy, and it's all about like including people. Didn't know we had a gatekeep about things at all.
Yeah.
Gatekeeping is crazy. Let's go ahead and go to I wanna go into Whisper Files, but you know what? I really wanna go into conspiracy theories.
Alright.
Did you wanna take over?
Yeah, and then hop in whenever you want to.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. A lot of people have heard these, especially the first two. Um, but the first urban legend we're gonna be talking about is Bloody Mary. I think, in my opinion, one of the most iconic and well-known urban legends are like just spooky stories ever, right? You know, everybody has tried to summon her when you guys were a kid and it didn't work and you guys got pissed off. Or like a door would creak and you would absolutely shit your pants or something like that. Like it's something that every kid has to do at least one time, right?
Mhm.
Say her name 3 times in the mirror and pray she doesn't answer. It's centuries old. You know, blending all sorts of scary shit. You know, you know the drill. Stand in a dark room, candle, stare into a mirror, chant her name 3 times,
Have you actually
and
done
her
it?
spirit and her spirit would appear. You know, screaming, reaching through the glass, stuff like that. You know, classic horror shit, right? Um, Historians trace her back to different origins. Some say she's Mary One of England for her brutal reign. Others say she's a ghost of a murder woman seeking revenge. I think it's the second one. I think the whole England, like, for her is a little bit weird. I think it's just she was a murdered woman and wants to take revenge on anyone else who wants to summon her. She wants to everybody to feel like the despair that she does. But yeah, everyone at some point has tried to summon her. I have.
That's what I was
You
gonna ask
obviously
you,
have.
or that's what I asked you. I was like saying, like, did you ever do that?
Mm-hmm.
You psycho.
I tried to do it to a lot of things.
Well,
Yeah, I was a.
the middle of nowhere. I guess you end up doing anything, huh?
Yeah, I live in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, the only thing I can do is get cursed. Or just try for the scary shit, you know? Yeah. So this one, number two, I think this is the second one, and I think it's the most well-known modern, like, technological entity on our list. Slender Man. Everybody knows Slender Man. If you were on the internet in 2010s, you know Slender Man. That you couldn't escape him. He used to scare me as a kid. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like him. Tall, faceless, watching from the trees. He first.
I thought he was handsome.
There was things on, like, he was, like, handsome but had no face.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I always had like a little crush on Slender Man.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's
He would let you. You would let him take you away. He became as an internet meme first in 2009, and then he the reason why he was made was through Photoshop. It wasn't like a creepy pasta of, like, oh, this entity exists. Everybody knew that man was fake, but the hype and all of this fiction turned real because some people some people were just like, I've seen him. They would go to, like, Reddits and stuff like that and be like, I've cited him, here's pictures, and just show more fake news, and it just devolved into making him a reality. Like, the internet made him real. And it got to a point that in 2014, two girls in Wisconsin killed their friend.
Oh my god.
To please Slender Man. And I don't know if you know this,
because as soon
as I saw Slenderman, I'm like, didn't some girls kill for him? But that is true.
I did not know that.
They were so convinced that he was real and that he was talking to them in the woods that they, quote unquote, that he told them to do it to the girl, and they did it. I don't know what happened to the girls. I know they got arrested. I mean, they're 12-year-olds, so I don't think they would have gotten that big of a sentence. But yeah, debatable. They wouldn't. The reason why I say that is they're not gonna kill the kids. They're probably gonna. The most that's gonna happen to them is they're gonna be in jail for the rest of their lives.
12 years old in jail. Juvie.
It's crazy shit. Yeah. And it's it's the craziest
happens
shit.
In Wisconsin or something like that. Something's going on around.
Always going on in the It's the Midwest. It's the Midwest because the Midwest is in the middle of fucking nowhere and no one has anything to do. That's exactly why this shit happens.
I mean, before we end Slenderman, the whole thing, I do remember around like during that time, maybe like 2010 when the game came out, Slenderman. I did play it. It did overheat my laptop at the time when I had a laptop, don't know. I do remember being it scary, and when he comes up to your face and everything, I just shut the laptop. I was like, I don't want to play anymore. I'm good. I just remember that kind of like imagery when that happened. But going to number 3, go ahead.
This one, it's kind of like, this one is more of kind of like a mix of stories devolved into one entity of like, so many people have these similar stories and it kind of devolved into it making it one cohesive thing. Putting the puzzle pieces together that don't really need to make something like, oh, this is what happened, you know. They're trying to put a name to the face and this is what happened. The Vanishing Hitchhiker. You know, this tale all over the world, you know, with so many different variations or anything like that. You know, a driver picks up, you know, a young hitchhiker. Often a girl wearing white. It's on a lonely stretch of road, middle of fucking nowhere. She gives an address, but by the time the car gets there, she disappears. And then the driver, you know, knocks on the door, and the people who live there are like, oh yeah, that girl died years ago. And stuff like that. So like, on the lonely stretch of road, this is what would happen. You know, you drive, you see random girl wearing white, you pick her up, she tells you, oh, I need to get to here. You drive there, she's fucking gone. You go knock on the door, they're like, oh yeah, this person no longer lives here, or this person died so long ago, and they like were to like, you look it up and like the obituary would be there, the girl is dead, but like you were just talking to her. Just kind of like that, you know, of like you talking to someone and then finding out they're dead, and then you go back to that person and they're gone. So it kind of has, I really love that.
I didn't
like,
know that was a thing.
It's some of the most mind fucky things, like tropes in horror movies, and I love that shit. I think it's very interesting of like, oh, they've been dead this entire time. It's insane. There's a movie, I forgot what it's called. They're climbing a tower and they're stuck on the tower, and this entire time she's talking to this girl, and at the end of the movie you find out that she's been dead the entire time and it's her hallucinations. Think that's crazy. But moreover, you know, and it's never usually like scary or anything like that. It's normally chill, but it's like the horror of like, that was a ghost, you know? Because there's not like any stories on this of like, oh, the ghost attacked the person or anything like that. No, it's just like, oh, pick me up, take me to this place. Then they're gone, you knock on the door, and then you find out they're dead. It's scary, but it isn't like deadly, you know? It isn't like Slender Man or Bloody Mary where like they'll kill you, you know? This just fucks with your head a little bit. And that is The Vanishing Hitchhiker. Going on to number 4, we have Hookman. The Hookman, he gonna get you. The Hookman story begins with a young couple parked in a secluded spot, often known as Lover's Lane. They hear a report on the radio, a dangerous killer with a hook for a hand has escaped from the asylum nearby. Nervously, they decide to leave. When they get home, one of them steps out of the car only to find a bloody hook hanging from the door handle. So, this story I've heard only maybe a couple of times when I was super young. So, researching all of this, you know, it's basically what the reason why it's formed is like, don't really go out by yourself, you know, trust their instincts and things of danger, like you're always being watched, stuff like that. So always keep your wits about you when you're alone or alone with someone. That's pretty much it. And I think this story was made to deter people from doing stuff like that, or like, oh, me and my partner are gonna go out in the woods and do something. You know, it deters them from doing that because the hookman's gonna get you.
I never heard of that story ever. I thought the Hookman was like maybe another spin-off of like Peter Pan. I really thought, because that's the Hook, you know?
Yeah, that is
Captain
true.
Hook.
Yeah.
So
Captain
I was
Hook.
like, oh, maybe it's just literally Captain Hook, but just kidnapping kids or something. I don't know.
You're so Disney pilled.
Yeah, I really thought that. I was just like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not know that. Okay.
Mothman, number 4, number 5, last one of the day, because I'm gonna be quick with this one since we do not have a lot of time.
Right.
The Mothman, you know, he is, you know, I think another one of the big iconic characters in a lot of like folklore, a lot of like, you know, like dark cultures. A dark omen with, you know, glowing big red eyes, you know, big moth. First sighted in West Virginia in 1966. You know, he's tall, winged, you know, eyes, 10-foot wingspan, you know. Everybody be seeing him, you know. I was like, oh, I witnessed Mothman. But in 1967, the Silver Bridge collapsed, killing 46 people. Afterwards, all of the sightings stopped. And then the locals believed he was like, oh, he caused a disaster, that's why he's not there, you know? So people say if you see him, something bad's gonna happen. Or like, there was a sighting of like, oh, I saw him the night before, so I didn't go to work, and there was a big crash on a highway where I would have died, you know? Stuff like that, premonition shit, which I also think is really, really cool. That's why I love Final Destination. I love those movies. They're great. But yeah, that's Mothman. I have a pin of him somewhere. He's on like a pin board in my room.
Okay, so we're actually just gonna do one murder mystery case, and I'm just gonna run through it really quickly. Let's see, our true crime segment, which I really wanted to talk about before we end it here. And the last thing it was, let me say it. Hold on. Okay. True crime. The Zodiac Killer. Very, very famous. So, the Zodiac Killer background, it was active in North California between 1968 all the way up to 1974. They targeted couples parked in remote areas, attacked both with guns and knives, sent taunting letters to newspapers signed with a cross-like symbol, I guess marking their territory or like trying to create like an MMO. But what happened was claim responsibility for up to 37 murders, only 5 confirmed, which is kind of crazy because I'm like, why are they trying to like, you know, say that there was 37 murders of the Zodiac Killer? But I don't know, maybe they had like similar MOs or whatever the case might be, but for sure only 5 were confirmed. The first known victims was Betty and another person named David. The couple, they were shot near around California, Northern California in 1968. Other attacks include Brian and Celestia at the lake around 1969. The killer apparently would phone the police after some murders and calmly confess. When the investigation finally went and happened, they were sent like ciphers, like coded messages, and some just remained unsolved even today. Dozens of suspects, including Arthur and Gray and others, which honestly I don't even know who those people are, but they were just like suspect names that would tie in with these murders. DNA and handwriting analysts have produced clues, but no definite match. And then people were like, why is it so famous? The Zodiac, errant puzzles, and media manipulation made him popular culture icon. Inspired countless films and books, including The Zodiac. I believe that was like a movie that was made in 2007. This case is still open to this day, and killer's identity remains one of the Americans' biggest mysteries. Which, honestly, I will definitely dive in, or it makes me really want to watch the Zodiac movie, and I think I'm actually gonna probably watch that tonight. Because I did not know they actually made a movie, and I'm gonna look it up later. But
Countless
yeah,
documentaries and everything like that.
yeah, I'm not for sure. I know there was like a similar idea or spin-off to this murder, and it was like my favorite show. It was called Criminal Minds. I know they made like a segment like this of like somebody was doing like the Zodiac killer and all that, and I remember it just I just liked it. I was just like, oh, this is actually pretty interesting. But yeah, let's go ahead and end the segment now. Is there anything you want to add on, Thomas, before we end it, the stream?
Not really. Just on like the Zodiac himself. Something interesting is he would send like body like fingers from the victims to the police, taunting them even further. Oh, he was a little shit.
I did not know
Taunt
that.
them, call them constantly, try to take interviews with like press. Like he wanted everybody to be like, "Oh, come and get me, come and get me, come and get me." You can't. He would write messages with the knives on the side of cars that like the murders happened. He would do it in their blood. He was a sadistic motherfucker, right?
I did not know that. There was like
And the thing
no
is,
studies of that I did, but okay.
there was like some times where he would like chill out at the crime scene or like take pictures of them and then send the picture to the police before the police even knew it happened. Like he would be like, "Oh, I just killed these people. These people are right here." And then just scurry off before the police got there. It's insane how he didn't get caught.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we can send this to the wild internet and people can like solve the case, and maybe the FBI, whoever, wouldn't get upset about it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited to watch the movie of it tonight.
Mhm.
But that's it for today's stream. Thank you for everyone for watching. Stay tuned for next Wednesday with part 3 of the spooky season. Thank you for so much for watching. Okay, bye bye now.
Bye
Bye
everyone. Bye bye
bye.
everyone. Stream ending. Stream ending. Oh my god. Oh no.